This is a dollar bill beat.
Was it the money that made me a savage? Popping them perks and I made it a habit. Towing them pictures and serving them addicts. That was exciting to me. I'm so excited to be. Started with nothing, we had to inspire the beat. They fly to me. I'm getting to it. Feel like the man. I got the plan. I call the shooters.
Welcome to Engage 8 Entertainment. This is the first episode of our Engage 8 podcast. And here's your crew. You got Hayden Hammett, Austin Aldridge, Luke Tankersley, Sam Poindexter, Braxton Krause, Grayson Lunyon, and Colton Anderson. And today we're talking NFL. So here's your host, Nolan Adams.
All right, we're going to kick the first topic off with NFL free agency and franchise tag. What do y'all believe the best move was so far? Colton, you go ahead and start us.
I said best move was the Ravens getting Calais Campbell and Michael Brockers. Calais Campbell's averaged 14.5 sacks, 11.5 sacks, and 6.5 sacks the last 3 seasons. And then Michael Brockers a run stuffer. And after watching them play against the Titans last year, and they struggled to stop Derrick Henry running the ball, I think they made a good move in going after some big guys up front.
Hayden?
Yep.
I think the Cardinals side of the Hopkins deal. I mean, you got rid of a second-round pick that was probably going to be on a wide receiver. You got rid of your backup running back for a perennial All-Pro wide receiver and a fourth-round pick. I mean, they got the CD Lamb, I guess they were looking for, and DeAndre Hopkins, and now they got Kyler, everything he needs around him. And now they just got to work on that defense and offensive line moving forward.
Okay, Grayson?
I'd probably say Emmanuel Sanders to the Saints is very intriguing to me. The Saints always had that, strong receiver with Michael Thomas, but they didn't have anything to really go towards next to him. That all the defenses focused on Michael Thomas, and now with another perennial Pro Bowler, they have that duo there in New Orleans. That'll be pretty intriguing to see.
All right, Sam, what are your thoughts on the best move?
The move I really liked was Darius Big Play Slay going to the Eagles, because it feels like the Eagles really, their DBs have been lacking, whether it be injuries or just they've never really had top-notch DBs. So I think they kind of got that one lockdown corner that they're looking for. Still got to make some moves on defense. They did lose Malcolm Jenkins, which is going to help, with that was kind of their leader. But I did like the move to get Slay, and it wasn't a ton. I think it was like
Third and fifth,
yeah.
And they have compensatory picks to help them out with there too. So
I like the move.
Okay, Austin?
I'm going to go with the franchise tag here, and I think Shaquille Barrett signing a franchise tag was a good move for the Buccaneers. They struggle in the past, they struggled with their pass rush, and I think Shaquille Barrett with a 19.5 sacks and interception last year really showed they could be a playmaker on a defense. And I think locking him up for one more year so that he could prove they could do it again was a good move for them in their defense.
Okay. B-Rex?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Colton. I think the Ravens did really well. And also I think Carolina has put themselves in a good position for the future. And hopefully they can, move past the Cam Newton, as much as I love Cam Newton. But everyone's got to move on at some point. So I think it was good to get Teddy B in there.
Robbie Anderson was good signing too.
Also Robbie Anderson. Good, quick wide receiver. Still kind of young.
All right, Luke, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, for best move, I went personally Teddy Bridgewater. They went from a quarterback who was always injured to, he couldn't stay on the field, to a quarterback that, while he hasn't been starting a lot, I think 5 games last season for the Saints, I think he's a starting quarterback in this league.
McCaffrey's going to help him too, because he likes to throw those check downs.
Yep.
And he's got DJ Moore. Right there.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question about what do y'all think the worst move in the NFL free agency was? We'll start back with Tank. Tank, why don't you start us with that one?
Yeah, I think the worst move was Jimmy Graham. He honestly didn't have that great of a season last season, and they have a quarterback who can't throw a ball like my grandma can throw one better than him. So first off, they didn't get their quarterback situation figured out. Tariq Cohen's nice. They got Tariq Cohen's nice. I got some good wide receivers and Anthony Miller and all that, but Jimmy Graham ain't helping them. And for how much they paid for him, it was not worth it.
Okay. Dale, go ahead and give me
Worst
your
move?
input.
I would say I think I'm gonna go back off what Tank said. I think the Jimmy Graham move was a terrible move. He didn't make an impact at all last year with an offense that he really could have.
Quarterback like Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything with him.
Exactly. I feel like he isn't really an impact player anymore. I mean, earlier in his career with Seattle and maybe New Orleans, he was a solid tight end man. I think the price that they got for him was a little questionable. But I mean, if they see something, they see something. But I don't really see it.
Okay. Braxton.
Well, I just want to say first of all, I kind of disagree with Graham not having a good year last year. He plays a role well. What I think the worst move was shit, I forgot.
Wait, did you say Graham had a good year last year?
I mean, I don't think he played terrible. It's not like he was getting 10 passes a game or anything like that.
He had a 63% catch
pretty
rate.
well.
His quarterback was Aaron Rodgers.
He did struggle with one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah, but I just don't think he had that bad of a year.
Go ahead.
I think the worst move was definitely Hooper leaving Atlanta. I just think if they had that option also, that team would be pretty damn good on offense.
Where did Hooper go?
The addition of Gurley.
Yeah, they should have.
The Browns.
They got Hurst for a lot less money. Hooper would have created a lot of cap issues, and then they couldn't have gone after Dante Fowler Jr. like they did. So I think, they did what they could. It's not like the tight end position is it's out of the question for the Falcons. They still have Hayden Hurst, so it's not terrible.
No, that is true. They get Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst. I don't think Hayden Hurst is that good personally. I think he's average at best.
Yeah, but he did really get to showcase that.
I think he's like Flex Seal. It stops the water, but it's just going to keep coming out.
He was on a team that was a run first team with Lamar Jackson, and he was behind Mark Andrews the whole time.
I would be.
So he really hadn't got the chance as a first round tight end to prove he's a first round tight end.
I'm interested to see what he does with a pretty pass heavy team.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam. What are your thoughts on the worst move?
I would probably go with Byron Jones to the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they're not going to have like a lockdown defense. They did get Kyle Van Noy, but basically Byron Jones, I don't think he had any interceptions last year.
He's had 2 interceptions the last 5 seasons.
Yeah, so he's not going to make turnovers, and that defense, for it to be successful, they're going to have to get takeaways. They're not going to be a bend but don't break or just a lockdown defense if they want to get wins. And the Dolphins have spent $236 million in free agency. And, they got Van Noy and Byron Jones, but I think they could have used their money a bit better. But that's just me.
Okay.
A lot of picks coming up there.
Colton?
So I'm agree with Sam. I said Byron Jones. In Dallas, he was a big scheme. And Grayson's getting attacked by a bee. That's great to see. No, but back to Byron Jones. He was in Dallas.
He was a wasp.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
He was a big scheme fit guy. Dallas defense was built on bend but don't break, and that's why he was so successful. He didn't create turnovers, so I don't think the Dolphins – I think the Dolphins made a big mistake paying him that much money.
But, to be fair with the Dolphins, though, they had the money. They didn't spend it last offseason, and you saw how their season turned out. They had a lot of money to spend. So why not go secure one of the bigger guys in the free agency market and bring some excitement to their franchise that they're lacking right now?
I said it. Yeah, he's going to be excitement because it's Byron Jones. Like he holds the record for the highest broad jump, all that, all the stats. Like the measurables are there. But other than that, he doesn't pop off on paper. 2 interceptions in 5 seasons. That's
Well, it isn't like the Dolphins have much right now. He's gonna.
Yeah, I think they could.
I think they're gonna be a fun team.
They have their cornerbacks are some of the best in the league. Xavier Howard on one side, Byron Jones on the other.
And if they would have kept Minkah Fitzpatrick in the secondary.
That is true.
Yep.
Aren't they getting a lot of picks for him though?
They got a first and
Yeah.
maybe another pick, but I know they got a first out of it.
It'll be interesting to see how they do in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayden,
My
how do you,
worst move.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. The worst
ahead.
move. I'm gonna stick in the secondary with the Bengals getting Trey Waynes on a 3-year, $42 million. That was a big overpay. They paid more for him than teams paid for Kendall Fuller, Desmond Trufant, and even Chris Harris.
Yeah.
And last year, Trey Waynes only had 1 interception and 58 tackles, which his PFF grade was a 79, which was 52nd among all corners. Yet he's getting paid as he's a top tier one. He was a first round pick, but he's never shown he has that really the talent to get there yet. So maybe he can turn his career around in Cincinnati, but he really hasn't showcased his first round abilities in the NFL thus far.
All right, Grayson.
I mean, this isn't really a free agency move, but I mean, I don't think you can go any farther than not Belichick. O'Brien trading away Hopkins. I mean, that's just extremely questionable move for a guy.
He traded him away for a bag of Doritos.
David Johnson and a guy who's had a couple of bad seasons in a row. I mean, extremely questionable move. I mean, I've heard of the rift between them, but I mean, still, and then compounding that with getting Randall Cobb, not going to replace him at all.
Yeah.
Okay, what is in y'all's opinion, what do y'all think the most underrated move is? We'll start back with Hayden.
I think an underrated move was probably getting Calais Campbell for a 5th round pick. I think it was early on in the process, so people are forgetting about it. But I mean, you're adding a Pro Bowler who early on in the season, his Jacksonville Jaguars defense and mainly him in the interior defensive line stopped Derrick Henry pretty well. And so you add him to a Ravens defense that was, really just behind the chains against Derrick Henry. So now they got a guy who played Derrick Henry twice a year, knows him better than anyone on the defense to add to that team and might take them to the next step to get to the Super Bowl.
Colton.
I said the Titans trading away Jarrell Casey. I mean, he's been a Pro Bowler for a ton of years. I mean, always been solid for the Titans, but they knew that they needed to get younger on defense. So I think freeing that cap space that he had on them allows them to chase after other players. Like they can go try to get Logan Ryan, and I hear they're in the front running for Jadeveon Clowney. But I think that kind of flew under the radar. That definitely flew under the radar.
Grayson.
I mean, it's been a big move, but I still think it's a little bit under the radar. Teddy Bridgewater going to the Panthers. I mean, he's been a backup. He's been a backup for a couple of years, and now he's going to Carolina to take over the reins down there. I think that's a pretty underrated move, especially with Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. They can make some things happen.
All right, tell me what you think, Dale.
I think one of the best moves is offseason for the team that got him. I feel like the Cardinals, when they got DeAndre Hopkins, was an exceptional move for their offense with Kyler Murray. You look at his stats, 1,100 yards last year, had 7 touchdowns, and 18 touchdowns in 2 years with Houston. And I see like the Houston offense kind of like the same formation with the Cardinals offense with Kyler Murray putting the ball downfield. And I think Hopkins is really going to get a lot of targets. I mean, even with Larry Fitzgerald, he's probably going to be gone next year or the year after that. So I think Hopkins is going to be an exceptional piece for their offense, and I think that he will really thrive with Kyler Murray and his success.
All right, Sam.
A move I really liked was really one of the first kind of big moves during this free agency. It was the Denver Broncos.
Is it an underrated move? Underrated move?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was just the first move that they made. I thought it was a big move. Sorry, but it was the Broncos getting AJ Boye, and they got all they had to give up was really a 5th round pick, and they needed to replace Chris Harris Jr. And I think that'll be a good replacement. He's not super old. He's developed. He's shown he can play well in this league. And yeah, I think the Broncos watch them on the come up. They probably found their quarterback in Drew Lock. He won 3 of his last 4 games last year. They could do some damage this year for sure.
All right, go ahead and tell me what you think there, Brax.
I'm gonna go with Big G Money. I'm gonna go with Teddy B. I think that was a great move, and no one really that move didn't get the credit that I don't think it got the credit that it deserves.
I'm not a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater, as some of y'all know.
I really don't know why.
I mean,
Didn't you like him in college? You used to like him.
Okay, I liked him in college. I mean, no, I don't have a problem with Teddy Bridgewater. I just think that he's not a guy that you can look at and say, man, this guy can lock down my
But he likes Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
He doesn't like Marcus Mariota based off play. He likes Marcus Mariota based off of he was a Titan franchise guy at one point in time.
Okay, because, I mean, you got to think about it. Teddy Bridgewater was a part of one of the best offenses in the league last year. And
he also brought the Vikings to the playoffs, like in
Did he win
I
that
can't
game?
remember if it was his rookie season or
Like 50
season
years
after,
ago, we let him.
Did he win that game?
Hey,
His
he was
kicker
in the
choked.
playoffs.
Oh yeah, his kicker did choke. He did. He put him in good
He
position.
also got knocked out.
No, I think Dale with Marcus.
Whoa.
Dale
Let's
with
not hold
Marcus
him getting
Mariota was-
blacked out
Oh, I
against
mean,
him now,
I
Dale.
just
I would
said-
think
all I
he
said was he got
plays a
blacked
different
out.
game now. He's
He's a
not
different
as mobile
quarterback
he's
than
not
he-
as mobile
yeah.
as he used to be. He's more of an in the pocket. He'll get you a couple of yards.
He's
but
more of a game manager now.
yeah, and so I mean, it's going to be a change for the Panthers' offense. I mean, how much of an upgrade is he on Cam Newton when Cam Newton was at the
I think
best he
they're the
could
same.
be?
You're behind on your water.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a backup guy. I'm just saying he's not a franchise guy. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see.
All right, Tank.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with Robbie Anderson. I mean, I think he flew under the radar in a Jets offense that was pretty stagnant most of the year. I don't think he's a number one, but he's a good combination with DJ Moore there in Carolina.
Y'all just
Okay,
love the
it's
Panthers,
very,
I guess, right?
very
I mean, my
questionable.
God. We've had 4 Panthers players as an underrated
Panthers-
move.
Well, I'm just
Panthers are
saying,
the best,
like,
I mean,
best
right now
offense
they're the
in
Temple
the
Panthers.
Yeah.
but Robbie Anderson is a good player and a player that is going to go well with DJ Moore.
Panthers
They
are
have
the-
speed. The Panthers are interesting to watch because
They have
speed
3 wide
now.
receivers that play like the same way, basically.
But
problem,
think about it,
though,
they're gonna-
the problem though, they're in the NFC South. They're
Yeah.
going to be a fourth. They're going to be the worst team in the NFC South. That's
None of all that, Sam.
I would
maybe
say they're going to be
Atlanta,
the worst.
Maybe
team.
Atlanta, maybe them.
All right,
Atlanta,
well, this is a good way to tie in to, I guess, the NFC South area. We're talking about the Panthers. Let's talk about the Buccaneers. Brady the Bucks. Let's talk about that one first.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
Colton's not a
So-
big Tom Brady fan.
I very, very much so against Tom Brady, but
Yeah, you're a
Not-
Dak Prescott fan.
Wait, Colton,
Okay.
Colton, can I ask you a question? Real quick? Would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater or Tom Brady right now?
right now,
Yeah, right now.
I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh my
Here, no, wait. Listen to what I say.
Let him
Listen,
explain. Let him
Teddy
explain.
Let me
B.
explain.
Hot take.
let me explain. So Tom Brady, we've never seen Tom Brady out of a Bill Belichick system. We saw what Teddy Bridgewater could do in Minnesota and then go to New Orleans and play a completely different style offense and succeed at a very high level. And I think if you put Teddy Bridgewater with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, a good group of offensive weapons, I think he's going to succeed, but he's not going to be great. Tom Brady's in his 40s. He's not the deep ball threat. And, I mean, I personally do not like the Brady move. I think the Patriots won that move because they let Brady go because
Well,
they
they
knew
didn't-
that they had to
they
move
didn't
on
make a
from that.
move. They didn't.
They didn't make a move.
Yeah, they didn't
Well,
make
no,
a move.
If they wanted him, they could have. They
Bridgewater
could have
has
pushed
Brid-
harder.
They didn't have any cap space to get anyone else.
The thing
Bridgewater
is,
I think honestly, and y'all can hear this from me. I love Teddy Bridgewater, support him, want him to do great. A lot of his success, what I think, is just Sean Payton. Sean Payton's an offensive mastermind. He was under his system.
But
I mean,
yeah,
but
y'all
I
can't win a
think
playoff game.
you can
Y'all
make the
can't win
same
a
point
playoff
though.
game, though.
You can make the same point about Tom Brady with Bill Belichick though, and his offensive mind.
But Tom
Josh
Brady
McDaniels-
does have 6
Josh-
rings.
Yeah,
Tom
but
Brady-
but he's had the same coach. The offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, has had head coaching opportunities every year. Every year he's turned them down because he wants to stay with Brady.
I
And
just,
You
I,
also got to think. Hey, you also got.
Brady's. Hey, you got the dude. Tom Brady or Teddy Bridgewater? Come on.
You also got.
Look,
Tom
Tom Brady. I'll
Brady.
take Tom Brady right now because he
Y'all
would be-
take Tom Brady
No,
because
no.
of 6 rings.
Tom Brady right now because he can help a young quarterback develop. But tell me
Also
right now what
the
Tom Brady
mastermind.
can do that Teddy Bridgewater can't do right now at this present time. What can
Win
Tom
a
Brady
playoff game. Win a playoff game.
Wait. So
Win the
did
Super
Teddy
Bowl.
Bridgewater get a chance to win a playoff game
Hey,
last year?
y'all are also not looking at it from this standpoint. Look at it from a player standpoint. Tom Brady in the locker room is a lot
Over
better
Teddy
than
Bridgewater in the locker room. Yeah.
So y'all are just talking all this good stuff about Teddy. Now it comes to, he's not going to control a locker room.
No, I think Teddy's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's better than
I don't
Tom
think he's
Brady.
better than Tom
He's not
Brady.
going to impact it.
I'm going back to the question: Tom Brady or Teddy Bridgewater? That's all.
Yeah, don't try to
Hey,
flip
all
the
I'm
script,
saying is,
y'all.
all I'm saying is, y'all act like he's going from, okay, Bill Belichick's one of the best coaches of all time, but you also got to think he's going to a head coach that has also coached Peyton Manning, who's also coached Phillip Rivers, who's coached all these top quarterbacks, and now he's going into an offense that knows what they're doing because they were an explosive offense with Jameis Winston.
Here's the difference with Jameis Winston, though. Jameis Winston can throw the ball deep. Tom Brady does not have the arm strength that he used to.
Jameis Winston also threw 30 interceptions.
He could throw the ball deep, though. They threw the ball 50 times a game with Jameis Winston.
Colton, would you rather have Jameis Winston or Tom Brady?
Okay, stop making these questions. Y'all are saying, would y'all rather have a guy like Tom Brady or Jameis Winston? And every time y'all are going to say,
Okay. When it comes down, was it the right move? Was the Brady move the right move?
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
that the Bucks, to have success, they're going to need – I think they need to get a better running back, a running back that can
Thank you.
– running back that's better than Ronald Jones. I think O.J. Howard is going to do great next year. He's going to get a lot of production. Now, we'll have to see how they're
Brady
going to –
loves his tight ends.
I
Brady
think Mike
does love his
Evans will
tight ends.
do good. I think Chris Godwin's production could drop off. I don't know.
nah, I think it's the other way around. Mike Evans is a deep ball guy, and Tom Brady can't throw it. But another thing
I
on
will
Tom
have to
Brady,
see because, Jameis Winston, like Colton said, threw the ball about 50 times last year. Tom
But, hey,
Brady's
I
not
will
that
say,
kind of
though,
guy. They're going to have to get a better running back if they're
thank
going
you.
to want to be a
Tom
Super Bowl
Brady
contender.
last year on the Patriots, he had a running game that averaged over 100 yards per game. The Buccaneers averaged under 100 yards per game running the ball. The Patriots offensive line gave up 27 sacks. The Buccaneers offensive line, 47. Brady's
I feel
not
like there were definitely a couple
ain't
games
evading the pocket.
where I'm saying Tampa Bay's run game was literally nothing.
It
They
was
might
not
have gotten
good.
20 yards.
And they've done nothing to improve it. Now the draft will come up, and I hope they.
I definitely think they'll get somebody in the draft.
But I mean,
They need to get a running back or offensive lineman.
Exactly, because they're both liabilities. Both of those things are going to greatly affect Brady because Brady cannot evade the pocket. And
I think they're going to do their best.
can't throw the ball 50 times a game either. He's too old for that. And they have a
TB12, baby, TB12.
Okay. What's next for New England? What's the right move for them?
I honestly think they need to begin a rebuild.
I don't think they're that far off though from being a playoff team again. I mean,
nah, they've lost too much.
They have lost a lot, but I think Belichick knows letting Brady go was smart because at some point you have to let go. Like the Colts let go.
He wanted to in 2017.
Yeah, I mean,
Belichick wanted to trade Brady instead of Garoppolo in 2017.
That's true. So
that's what started this whole thing.
Exactly.
So Belichick's
and that's
not
why I'm
mad
saying,
about this.
No, I think Belichick knew what he was doing, and I think Brady choosing to go to Tampa Bay helps New England in the long run because I think they can start to youthen a little bit, and then they still have one of the greatest coaches ever to do it. So he knows what he's doing. So he's just going to bring in somebody else like Brady or not a big name guy out of college, and they're going to get back to where they were. I still think they're going to be a dynasty as long as
they got some work
there.
They have some
I think they pick up Jordan Love.
They have some work to do offensively.
One thing
they
that
don't
works
have a
in their
QB.
favor
They don't have a
is
QB, and they don't even have a tight end. Benjamin Watson was their tight end last year.
I think they can still compete in their division because of how horrible it is. I mean, the Bills look better, but that division is rough.
I think it's the Bills' division to win this year.
I think the Bills will win the division, but I still think it's a rough division.
The Jets are doing
All right.
nothing.
What do y'all think on Cam Newton's situation? Who should sign him?
He's gonna be a backup somewhere. There's just no
That's
room
ridiculous.
I don't think so.
I think his last chance is a Patriots at this point.
I think about this. I think Cam Newton could go to San Diego.
They have Tyrod.
San Diego doesn't have a team, so
Not San Diego.
The Chargers.
Los Angeles.
The Chargers.
Los Angeles Chargers. Since they moved,
they're going to go with Tyrod.
They're going to go with Tyrod. If they went with Tyrod,
they're drafting the quarterback.
But if they went with Cam Newton, they already have a good defense.
The Chargers are going to be very good next year.
Yes, if they added
Cam
Newton, They're a playoff
I
team.
would be all
Instantly,
in for the Matt and
I
Cam Newton,
instantly
but
10-win
they're going
team.
to stick with Tyrod and the
I
quarterback they're about to
I
draft.
feel like Steelers should go in and grab him. I don't know if they will, but I think that Roethlisberger is old as anything, and I think Cam would really fit well in that system, especially with Connor and Juju.
Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be good for the Steelers.
And they have a good defense. They have a very strong young
And
defense.
if Cam doesn't go to the Patriots, I would love to see Jameis Winston go to the Patriots, because then it's can Belichick go to the playoffs with Winston? Because now you got that dynamic. Who does
Kind of
better,
cool.
Brady or
It'd be Tom
Belichick?
Brady. It'd be like the Buccaneers and Patriots top QBs.
Exactly. And then
A
we
lot of
see
people,
who- then
a
we
lot
see
of
who
people
really
think
it was.
a lot of people think Dalton's going to the Patriots.
That doesn't surprise me. I think he's a veteran. Belichick
I'll just say
knows.
this. The Patriots are really never a team that's going to leak information of their true motive. So anything you're hearing right now is merely a rumor. Belichick and Kraft are talking.
They already came out and said that he isn't their first plans.
All right. We're getting off topic here. Let's go to Clowney. You know, who gets him?
Titans.
Who gets Clowney?
It's a 3-team race right now. Seahawks, Jets, and Titans. I think the Titans are the front runners right now, for what I've been reading. But I mean, a guy like Clowney, who's more money motivated than team motivated, is going to.
He had 2 sacks last year. He is.
3 sacks. He had 3 sacks, 31 tackles.
He's more of a run stopping edge.
I think
Clowney is Clowney still one of the best top or
yes,
one of the best
I mean, is
pass
he
rushers in the league?
I think the money's taken over. I think he's
He
more
has the
worried about
potential.
playing. He has potential to
if
be.
you took the name off of the stats, if I just told you it's a guy who had 3 sacks and 31 tackles last year, a top end edge rusher, logically you would say no.
I'd say to back
Exactly. But then you hear his name's Clowney and you know all the potential he has. When he was at the Texans and when Vrabel was his defense coordinator, he had 9.5 sacks, his most in his career. So
he's never really lived up to what he did in college.
And his best career year per sacks was when Mike Vrabel was the defensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel is now the head coach for the Titans. So now you're looking at a reunion where a guy can really get his career going as what he was supposed to be after that one spot.
No contention. I would say virtually none.
All right, Braxton, you can go now.
So everybody knows in here, I'm not a real big stats guy. I think wherever he goes, he's going to be a baller. Like, even if he doesn't have the stats, he's still Jadeveon Clowney. Like, he's still going to protect the –
Still forces double teams.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The thing, though, is
Hey, someone needs to turn off the TV.
Who's playing TV?
It's Grayson.
It's not the fact
blooper.
that
It's a
you
blooper.
know he's not great. Like, he's going to disrupt on defense. It's down to, do you want to pay a guy $20 million a year when he just had a season of just 3 sacks? The pressures are there, the double teams are there, but when you only produce 3 sacks, it's hard to say $20 million a year.
No one's offering him $20 million. That's why he's holding out right
That's
now.
why he's holding out.
The
Dolphins offered him $17 a year, and he declined it.
He probably knew what was best for him. If he goes to Miami, his career is dead, in my opinion. I think Miami's a trap. I think anyone that
Are you
goes to Miami.
kidding me?
You're kidding me.
When was the last time the Dolphins were relevant?
You're living in the past, though. You're living in the past.
When
You're
was the
looking at
last time? When was
The Dolphins were not bad last year. Not this last year, but the year before that.
Jesus Christ.
Munyon.
Grayson, unplug and play
Blooper.
blooper.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds horrible.
you're
Bunyan's
not
bloopers.
realizing the Dolphins have 3 first-round picks this year, 2 first-round picks next year, and 2 twos in both years.
Still, the Dolphins. It's the same front office they had when they drafted Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, Colton. I mean,
they
that's
thought,
a
right?
bad
If you
argument, though.
honestly
You're living
think,
in the past, then you're living in the past.
So you're saying Ryan Tannehill's not a good quarterback?
If we're living in the past, then fuck the stats from last year. It's this year now.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Take there.
Amazing F-bomb by Braxton Cross right there.
I'm just
So I heard you talking about the Patriots getting Jameis Winston, correct?
Yes, me.
Okay, do y'all believe that that's who is 100% going to get him, or
No,
is there other teams in the mix?
I honestly think the Patriots won't go after any of them.
Hey, one person talk at a time. One person talk at a time.
I said, personally, I think Jameis goes back to Florida, and he goes with the Dolphins. They have Josh Rosen. They're going to need a backup.
I think he could go to New Orleans. I'm just saying.
I'm
New
just
Orleans-
saying he has a chance to go for a
Colt,
starting
you
position.
just said Jameis to the Dolphins.
He has a he has a
That's
chance.
Guys,
horrible.
they're drafting a
That's
QB in the
Okay.
first round.
Oh my
He's-
God,
where-
RoboCop, fix your mic.
Where's he at? Where else is he gonna go?
He can get a backup job anywhere.
The
I think
Dolphins,
I think-
Dolphins
listen,
have
listen,
Ryan
listen. I
Fitzpatrick,
think he's
Josh
going-
Rosen, and the 5th overall pick. That was a terrible take, Colton. That's just terrible.
Okay,
My
if they
God.
think
Get this guy off the set, suspend him immediately from this
Okay,
podcast.
listen up.
My God.
Listen here, Hayden. Listen.
All sports analyst.
Shut up, Grayson. You don't even know what you're doing over there.
I think
Listen.
good.
RoboCop, shut up. Listen. This is what I'm saying.
Whoa.
Shut up, dinosaur boy. I'm talking. Give me a second. I've tried to say this. Jameis Winston, if the Dolphins traded for Josh Rosen, why would they go and draft a quarterback this year when they could use it?
Because they
on
need a quarterback.
They have other spots they need.
Really,
Are
Colton?
you
You're gonna tell
kidding
me? So you're telling me, Colton?
So
the
you're
Dolphins
saying if Tua goes to the Dolphins, instantly they're a playoff team. Like that fixes
No.
all
Who
their
said that?
problems.
No one just said Colton. You're
No,
telling
but
me that.
I'm saying
You're making
stop
up
talking.
points.
All right, let's
You're telling
move
me,
on.
though.
Let's move
You're
on.
No, let me finish.
To the
You're
next
telling me
person.
that the Dolphins are going to draft Tua at 5, whether they trade up or not. So they have
No. I don't
Fitzpatrick,
think the
Rosen,
Dolphins are
and
drafting
Tua.
Tua. I don't think the Dolphins draft Tua.
All right. Stop. That's over. All right, someone else give a take on it.
You're
Lost your-
stupid, Colton.
I
You're
think
stupid.
you've lost your mind and you need help finding it, Hayden.
I think Winston is good enough to be a starter in the NFL. I really do. But I feel like he's going to end up getting a backup job somewhere. I could
Because he
see
throws 40
possibilities.
interceptions a season.
I could see possibilities being, maybe like a West Coast offense could end up with the Chiefs. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe
The Chiefs just signed.
I think he's going.
Seattle,
Chiefs
something
just
like that.
I think he's going to the Saints. The Saints need a backup, and they don't want to use. They want to use Taysom Hill. They want to use Taysom Hill like in the offense as like the Swiss Army knife. Playing a wide receiver, tight end, running back, wherever.
Punt
They can't
returner,
do that.
kick
They can't do
returner.
that. Yeah, they can't do that if he's the backup because
True.
when Breeze gets hurt, then and say Taysom
Well,
Hill playing tight end. Then
Winston's not going to go to the Chiefs because the Chiefs just signed Jordan Ta'amu, and they're not going to sign Matt Moore-back. So they've already got their backup
You
quarterback.
have to find a team that's willing to pay more for a backup quarterback. Jameis isn't going to take backup quarterback money. He's going
The
to
Saints
take
have proven.
That's why I
The
said
Saints,
the Dolphins.
the Saints have
The
proven they'll
Dolphins
pay.
make
But
the
the
Saints have
Dolphins-
proven they'll pay a good amount. The
Colt,
Saints have
listen.
proven they'll pay a good amount.
Okay, here's
just-
what I think. I think Jameis Winston's going to be in the same boat as Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota signed a 2-year, $17 million contract to go compete for a job with a guy that they don't really know if that's the franchise guy.
Josh
Now,
Rosen.
name a team
Colt.
that has a veteran. I wouldn't say veteran. Name a guy that's kind of on the ropes, on ice of their quarterback position, and name a team that can get a quarterback to come in and compete for a job.
Josh
agree.
Rosen is a perfect example. He's been with 2 teams already, and his rookie contract's not even up.
Someone bring me a I'm with stupid sign for episode 2 and get me beside this guy because this guy just needs to be off the freaking show.
No,
All right,
I'm
all
good.
right.
I think
All
about
right.
Colton, you're done.
Colton, you're done. You're done.
Colton, the thing is,
Next question.
Hang on. Can I say one thing? The thing is,
Yeah,
with
go
that
ahead, go ahead.
with that 5th overall pick for the Miami Dolphins, they're not just drafting a quarterback and sticking him down the depth chart. It's a guy that they're going to bring in that's going to bring fans to the stadium, get a market piece to come to their team, and it's not like the Miami is a contender. They're not going to draft a quarterback and then have him as a backup to learn from somebody. They're going to come in and develop with him, develop the offense with him, so that he can come in and be the future for that team. So
When the team rebuilds, Colton, they don't just say, we're going to do every position but the quarterback position when they have Ryan Fitzpatrick as their starter.
quarterback's number one.
They're getting a quarterback. They have 3 first-round picks. They're going to use them to either trade up or get the guy they want.
Well,
All right.
I'm just gonna stop
All
talking.
right.
I'll let Nolan
All right.
carry this on.
So we're gonna start going to
Lost your
the
minds.
4 verts where
Find them.
y'all are gonna pick who's the starting QB for Chargers, Patriots, Redskins, Raiders, Browns, and Dolphins.
The Browns.
So
I mean, what?
Just go. Nolan, just pick one person out.
Yep.
And then
yeah.
do that.
So you're basically we're gonna try to do this quick. So just
Is this week
say
1
it,
or by the
maybe
end
a
of
little
next
bit of
season?
explanation.
Week
Just
1.
This is
All
week
right.
1
Say-
starters.
Yes.
Week 1.
Yes.
Say,
All
say
right.
those
We're gonna
teams
go.
again.
We're gonna go Chargers. We're gonna go Chargers first. All right. Colton Chargers.
Chargers. I say Cam Newton. I say they're gonna get Cam Newton, and he's gonna be a starting quarterback there.
Hayden.
For the Chargers,
Yes.
Tyrod.
Grayson.
I think Tyrod starts out, and I think Justin Herbert's is there at the end of the year.
Sam.
Definitely Tyrod. They're not going to get Cam. Tyrod and Cam play kind of the same way. They're both mobile. Tyrod.
Braxton,
Tyrod, baby.
Luke.
I got Herbert. You know,
Week
I think
one?
yeah, I do. I think Herbert.
He ain't even on the roster yet.
Well, I think they're drafting Herbert.
I'm taking
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Hey man, let him
Dale,
speak. Let him speak.
Chargers.
I think they're gonna have a quarterback under center that knows the offense already, and I think that'll be Tyrod Taylor.
Y'all
All
are
right.
sleeping on Cam.
Now we're gonna go to the Patriots. Austin.
The Patriots, it's a tough one. They signed Brian Hoyer, but I think they're going to go out. I think they're going to they're going to go to Cincinnati and get Andy Dalton for 1 year.
Interesting. Sam.
It's really up in the air. I think Cam. There's a chance Cam, of course, could go to the Patriots. I think maybe. Now this wouldn't be for Week 1. I could see them low key drafting Jalen Hurts at some point, and Jalen Hurts moves in and they give him a shot.
It's not a bad option.
Luke.
Yeah, I'm going with Sam. Right now, I think Brian Hoyer starts Week 1. Just because he knows Belichick's offense because he played with them before. But then I think they draft Jalen Hurts and he eventually gets in a couple games. Starts there.
Brax.
I'm gonna go with Cam Newton or Jameis Winston. I think they get one of the dudes that are on the market right now.
Hayden.
I'm going to go with Winston because I want to see the Brady swap. I want to see that storyline.
Colton.
Y'all are completely forgetting that they have Jared Stidham.
Oh, my God.
Think about this.
God.
He was behind Tom Brady last year.
Let him talk.
Listen, he was behind Tom Brady last year. They got Brian Hoyer as a backup. Say they draft somebody. They have a three-man race in New England, but I think they stay with Stidham because that's the Belichick thing to do. Belichick's not gonna take a splash. Belichick's gonna be Belichick.
Grayson.
I'm gonna lean towards Andy Dalton. I think they'll go for Andy Dalton, and if it doesn't work out, they'll get a high draft pick and have a chance at Lawrence or Fields in the next draft. But I don't think they're gonna make anything big this year because I don't think their main goal is to be in playoff contention. I mean, I think they would like to be in playoff contention, but
the reason they say with Stidham is to get Lawrence next year.
Hayden, go ahead.
I understand that Dalton would work good in their system, but why would they trade for Dalton when they could just either sign Winston or Newton? I feel like
I don't know.
It's
something that they're gonna have to look at. But I think that Belichick would lean towards a Dalton because I don't think they would want to forge all that money over to those other two guys.
They wouldn't have to.
All right, I say Dalton because there's multiple reasons. He's on a 1 year deal, so if you don't like him, he gets rid next year. And I feel like Jameis Winston's going to go after a multi-year deal, and I don't think Belichick wants to do that when he has his eyes on a quarterback next draft. So I think he comes in with Dalton, who's a veteran, who played well in that little stretch that Cincinnati had. They're going to get some targets. He's going to get some, people around him, and I feel like he can kind of be a bridge quarterback for that next guy that Belichick wants.
And while Jameis is good, I don't think he fits the New England offense at all. High turnovers, and they don't have the assets for him to throw to. So I think he would be a disaster in New England.
Cam Newton's MVP season, his best wide receiver was Devin Funchess and Jericho Cotchery, and his running back was Jonathan Stewart. So his best year was probably with his worst receiving core.
That was also before he had so many injuries that plagued him for the next few seasons.
And that was before he just had a physical that said he's 100% healthy.
He also changed his throwing motion, so that's kind of interesting.
Hey,
he was in a car accident.
I mean, with the guy, that was so long ago.
But ever since that car accident, he's gone completely downhill.
Interesting.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the Redskins. Who y'all got for the Redskins? We'll start with Big Sam.
I would say Haskins still. I think that they're just going to keep giving him a shot. This year is kind of his make-or-break deal. They're going to give him a full season under the team, under the offense, and we'll see what happens. He's in a pretty good division, so good division. I'm not really expecting a lot from them. But, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Dale.
I say Dwayne Haskins. I don't think they move on from a guy that they chose in the first round after just one season. So I say Haskins.
All right, Luke.
Yeah, I mean Haskins. I mean, you can't hold last season to him. I mean, he didn't do great, but I mean, last year's Redskins team was kind of like a garbage can on fire. So yeah, I just go with Haskins.
All right, Brax.
Brax.
Yeah, I'm going Haskins.
All righty. Hayden.
Haskins. They drafted him in the first round for a reason.
Grayson.
I'll go Haskins, but I mean, what happened to Alex Smith? I mean, what is that dude doing now?
He broke Grayson.
He's there.
He almost lost his leg.
He
Yeah,
almost
broke
lost
every
his
bone.
leg.
He broke every
He's
bone.
But still,
just-
it's been like 3
he's-
years.
He's just out of the picture now, man.
It's
He was a
been-
good
Colton,
quarterback
I think,
back in the
Colton,
day.
who's the QB for the Redskins?
I say Haskins.
Okay, so hands down. All right. All right, what are y'all's thoughts on who's going to be the starting QB for the Raiders week 1? We'll go ahead and start with Colton. Back with Colton.
This is tough, but I'm going to go – I say they stick with Derek Carr. I mean, I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback, but Mariota's going to push him.
Derek Carr. It's the same situation the Titans had this year. They want Carr to prove them right, but if he doesn't, they have Mariota to show him that his spot's not secure.
Grayson.
I got Carr, but he's on a short leash.
All right. Sam.
Yeah, it's the same as the Tennessee Titans. I think Carr will go. They'll start out maybe 2-2, and then he'll have a really bad game. They'll put in Mariota for a spark and try to kind of light it up and go from there.
Brax.
Yeah, I think Carr is going to start, but then Mariota will come along and be that guy that Gruden brought in.
Tank.
Throwing a little curveball here. I got Mariota week 1. I just don't feel like Gruden has a good feeling about Carr. I think he doesn't like him. I don't think he fits his system. So we're going Mariota.
Hey, is Peterman still in their franchise? As a
Good
coach
Lord,
now?
that man needs to be out of the NFL.
He's still on that team.
Peterman for some reason. I don't-
Dale, I have a feeling what your pick is, but go ahead and give me what
I feel like
feel.
it's going to be a very competitive training camp in preseason, but I feel like they're just going to stick with the guy that knows the offense a little more. Derek Carr, week 1.
He throws a hammer. Throws
Interesting.
the hammer. It should be opening day. He throws hammers.
All righty. We're going to move on to the Browns.
Whose man
Hayden,
is this?
who you got?
I don't know.
Honestly,
This is a
just take the
conversation.
Browns off. This is just.
I mean, it's all Mayfield. We're all Mayfield.
Hey,
Mayfield.
I am not
Okay,
Mayfield.
okay.
Here,
Mayfield.
whoa! I'm
Move on.
Case Keenum.
No,
Case
we're not
Move
listening.
on.
Oh, my
No,
God.
Okay,
Move
Colton,
on.
you'll love this.
Colton's
You'll
on
love
mute.
this one.
Colton's on mute.
No, don't. Colton will love this one. Who's starting QB for Miami Dolphins week 1?
Ooh! I said it once. I'm going Jameis Winston.
That's just all right. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Hayden.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Grayson.
Game 1, Tua's under center. That's what we got to go with them.
Sam Poindexter.
I'll go with the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa, however you
Interesting.
say it. I think they draft him. I think they get the franchise QB. Give him some energy.
Braxton.
I'm going with Vince Magic, but I think Tua's coming along pretty soon.
For sure.
Luke.
I gotta go with Braxton. I mean, you can't throw. If I was the Dolphins, Tua's injuries kind of scare me. So I'm going Fitzpatrick for the first couple games, and get Tua some reps here and there, and then I think he starts eventually.
Austin.
They draft Tua. I think they draft Tua, and I think they're gonna be a little cautious with his hip injury. I think they go Fitzmagic.
I mean, yeah. We forget that Mahomes sat out the whole first year behind Alex Smith. You got to be patient for 1 year, and the guy can really develop
Mahomes also was
watching the NFL.
Everybody was questioning why Mahomes was taking a 10, and I said it from the beginning. Mahomes is gonna be a good player.
Well,
But what turned out?
The Mahomes at Texas Tech was not the Mahomes that was starting 2 years
It is the
later.
exact same Mahomes. The
Not at
exact
all.
same.
Not
Go
at
look
all.
at his stats.
Hey,
Colton,
can I say
when
something?
you play
To
in the
be
Big
fair,
12,
the Bears.
Dale's trying to talk.
Dale. Go ahead.
It's a little different situation from Kansas City that year to the Miami Dolphins this year. Kansas City was a competitive playoff team. You can't just stick in a quarterback in a competitive playoff team when you have a guy that knows the offense and's been in the playoffs before. So that's why it's different. But I don't think they'll sit Tua for the first couple of games because of they're a contender, which they aren't. It's going to be because of that injury, the injury that he had in Alabama that last season.
Well, let's say Fitzmagic happens again and he does what he did with the Buccaneers. Do they ride him
Buccaneers
out?
didn't do to him.
Huh?
They didn't even make the playoffs.
Depends on the record.
Because they put Jameis back in.
How long are the Dolphins going to be in this transition stage of We're going to ride Fitzmagic, then we're going to go Rosen.
It'll be
and then we're going to throw in two. It's like you're going to have to stick.
It'll be the Eli Manning situation. He'll play a couple of games this year, and then they'll put in Tua.
It also depends on their success.
I don't think the Giants are making the playoffs this year either. So.
Well, they're still in rebuild. I mean, you can't just expect the rookie quarterback after 2. This guy
that's all
over
the
here.
time. We're finished with all the topics. That's going to be it for this one. Next episode, we got the MLB start time and predictions, the NBA playoff picture, and an NFL mock draft. So that'll be a big episode.
Mavs, baby.
I'm looking forward to that one. I can put in some more insight in that one. So.
Some Luka magic in this joint.
Get this man off the show. Get this man off the show. I can't deal with this guy anymore. I mean, this is just ridiculous. His takes are the worst I've ever heard.
He's been.
This is the blues I'm playing.